Good afternoon. It's midday, just after 12 Eastern time. It's the 18th of August 2023, and I'm just going to recap my trading for the day. So the day ended up generally pretty good. I'm up. Wasn't amazing, but it wasn't particularly bad. So my first trade was in the pre-market, and it was just before the open. In fact, I went short. I was watching this trend come down, and we put in a higher high, a lower high, a lower low, then another higher low. So I got in on the break of that green candle, and I rode it down to about the low of the day. I got out because I was also watching 43.50, and I'm going to get my Discord channel open, and you can see exactly the numbers I called earlier. So on the screen here, I've got my pre-market live video, and I was watching 43.50 for a long, and note this level as well, 43.75 for a short. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so 43.50, low of the day, today's low. I had an order waiting just there, and I got in. In fact, I was just putting in my limit order as the market was dropping down, and I missed it, so I got in. It was closer to there, I think my in was. So annoying I didn't catch 43.50, but good that I was there watching it and I got in. I was fast enough to respond. So I was in there. I took profit as we broke the pivot, and my next out was at VWAP, and then it got a bit choppy, so I was up. So it's 2 for 2, so I was up on that trade and a beautiful up on this trade. Again, because it was so quick and so close to the open, I only had 2 contracts, so I kind of want to play a bit safe because it was a higher risk bounce as well, because ideally what I really was looking for, and if you recall my pre-market video, I wanted to get in this zone here, and this is just an area. It's a big wide zone. It's a $10 gap, so I really wanted to get the bottom end of this for a long, and I would have probably added a few contracts to it, layered in properly. But because I was only on the edge of the zone and it's just very close to the open, I just got in with one starter position, and so I took one contract off there and I took the other contract off here, and I was looking for an add as well, and I did originally want to try. In fact, I didn't get out as it touched VWAP. I waited for it to break the VWAP, and I thought it might have continued on and pushed up because the 200 moving average was my target for my second contract. I didn't add. I should have added here. Now I've got a rule to add on every pullback, but it was against the trend, and so I don't generally want to add. It's just scalping against the trend. So I didn't add. I had 2 contracts, one out there, the other one as it came back down through the VWAP. I got out as it broke down through that candle, and again, because it's so close to the open, the volume doesn't really, it's not very easy to tell what's going on. So my out was here as it broke down through that 50 moving average, so that's good. So my next trade was almost a reversal. It pushed down and pulled up, and I went short here, and then obviously then it came back and I stopped myself out. And then I tried another reversal here on a breakdown of that candle, and my average price was always along this point of control, this red line. Pushed down. I think I took a little bit of, I put one contract off here, came out, and I stopped myself at a break even. So it was very messy trading. There wasn't anything defined. But one thing I did want to watch out for, and I called this number as well, was 43. I think I said 43.75. So I went short at 43.75. This is this dotted line here, and we pushed up into it, came in, pulled down. I took a bit of profit out, and then I stopped out at break even. So that was another good trade, and that number was valid. Then I did call another trade, and I'm just looking at my list of trades. Go into my 1 second. Need to reboot my machine because it's running a bit slow. So the number I was watching was 43.80, and you will see exactly where we are now. Actually, this pivot here, I had a limit order waiting at 43.80, and that was purely based on an area of convolution or convergence, convolence. I can't speak properly. And I'm going to draw the line in, and that area, and it's just an area I was watching for on the chart at the time, and it will be there. Look at that. So it's the bottoms of these candles, the tops of this candle, the bottoms of these candles. I'm only taking the average place, that's what I always eyeball it. Bottoms of there, tops of this pivot, which is the important one because it's always the most recent, the average between the tops and bottoms here as well. And so I had an order at 43.80, which is exactly where we are, the prices right now, for a short, and lo and behold it tagged me in, and I only had one contract, so I've done, my trading was done already by this point. So I wasn't trading any more full size positions, it was more of a speculative scout based on that level, and I got in almost exactly there. 43.80 was my price, and it pushed through, got down to the VWAP. In fact, I was distracted at this point, I missed my out, and I got out as it came back over here. So not great, it's only one contract, but that's me done for the day. And potentially this area is still a short area, we're still in a downtrend. I'm going to go into the hourly. Look at that, so we're putting in lower low, lower high, lower low, kind of basing it out a bit, maybe a lower high, potentially a lower low. We haven't broken the high yet, we're still, if I put that one there, so we're still well away from that high, and we're putting in another low. Potentially this is an area I was watching because of these two pre-market pivots. We could potentially be pushing down, and this is an area I think we will probably bounce. If we do get down to that area, I think we'll bounce at 43.50, 43, 44, that area. So that's on watch, but not for me today. I'm done for my trading, so I'm going to take my gains and I'm going to walk. I've got a bit of work to do anyway. Okay, so oil. I just want to have a quick look at oil, because when I last checked in the pre-market video, the live video, which I do every day now, we were here, and I was just saying if it comes up and touches a VWAP, it's probably worth a short, and I missed it because I was on the video. I probably would have taken it, and we did see it come all the way down. It's a great short, and then what we're looking at, the 5-minute chart, and then 15 minutes later I had a quick look at oil again, and we were up here, and what a move. So if you're trading the CL contract, $1 move is $1,000 per contract. So 79.40 to 80.40. So this would be $1,000 move. Funny if you were, or it would have been $100 move on the MCL, which is what I will be trading. And look at that. So we put in a new high, and if we look at it on the daily, so this is the daily. We can probably get rid of some of these levels now. The daily, we've broken, not quite broken yesterday's level, or thereabouts. We're still under the 8 moving average. So potentially this is the pullback to the 8, and we could either just go sideways for a bit and just go sideways, eating time off the clock before the market decides it wants to move down or up, or we could be, this could be part of our pullback, and which is quite valid as a pullback, because on the daily we've had this big long uptrend. Wasn't miles away from the 8 or miles away from the 20, but it's come down, it's tested the 20, and maybe we're going to see another move back up. So, but this is an area to watch as well, because this is a higher in the daily. The last pivot was there. So oil is something I'll keep an eye on. And then before I go, let's have a look, see where we are in NASDAQ. It's doing the same as ES really. There we go, it's coming into that level we talked about. I think in my post market I said we'll look for a short probably about here in this area, and we're kind of there at the moment. And lastly, Qs. This is the daily. Qs, look at that, it's come right up to that area we were talking about shorting, just along here, and potentially we could be looking for a move down. So there's a funny market today, OPEX Friday as well, and it moves a bit differently, volume's a bit different, so not something, that's why I'm walking now. It's midday, so I'm walking. Did we get to 4,400? Not quite. So you didn't quite anyway. We did get anywhere near 4,400 on the SPX. That's an area. I've got an alert waiting there. So if we do get up there, I may take a short if it's during the power hour later. One thing to notice as well before I go is, this is the 15-minute MES. We've got decreasing volume into increasing price spread, which generally means it's showing weakness into this buying. So it looks like we may want to be looking for another move down, maybe a double bottom here, possibly. And if we look on the 30-minute, look at that, that's just decline in volume on increase in price. And here we go, we're starting to sell off. We touched the 50 on the 50 moving average on the 30-minute chart, and it rejected it straight away. So just something to bear in mind if you're looking to go long. I probably wouldn't want to go long. In fact, the shorts is exactly what I said earlier. If we can push up to here on declining volume, then this would be a great short of 43.90 or 4,400. Okay, so hopefully you have a nice weekend, and I will see some of you Monday. Thanks for watching.